everybody, Maggie here with a look at my completed Instax Tropical Scavenger Hunt album. Now, if you remember, a few weeks ago, I posted on Heidi's blog the beginnings of this album. What I was doing in this album was kind of taking our entire summer and doing a scavenger hunt over the entire summer. Now, some people use this album to document a single trip or a single event, but I decided to use this throughout our summer. So I used the prompts in the scavenger hunt and then went back as we completed things or as we checked things off our bucket list or as we attended events or whatever we did over the summer, and was filling out my album as I went along through the summer. And now it's done. So I'm just going to take you on a quick walkthrough right now. Okay, so here we go. So this is the Adventure Scavenger Hunt album, and these are available at Michael's stores. And let's see. So what I did here, this initially came with a page that kind of gave you the instructions for the scavenger hunt. It said, in not so many words, thank you so much for buying this or whatever, and here follow the prompts in this book, and you can document just using the prompts, and then write down maybe a little journaling about what happened and put your photo in there. And it was just really just like an instruction sheet for the beginning of this. But I took that out and just added with some of the Instax Tropical cards, a little summer 2017 here, and just punch these holes with my We Are Memory Keepers planner punch board and put a backing on it here, so when you turned it over it wasn't just plain. These are just two of the Instax Tropical cards. Now, before I get much further, let me show you kind of what I used to decorate the inside of this entire album. I used the cards from the Instax Tropical collection. These are available at Michael's stores as well. And there are 3 different sets, and I just took out all the cards from all the sets and put them right in this darling little tin container so that I can flip through these as I need them. And now those sets come with stickers and cards and frames that you can use in your documenting. I also used the Instax Tropical Banner Kit. Now that was kind of a really neat kit. Came with a string of lights and clips that you could use to string up a banner, including your Instax photos. But I am using some of the pieces from that, and see, these are some of the pieces that came with that. They are like banner shapes, but I'm using those in this album as well. So that's one thing I used. The most important thing actually was my Instax Share printer, because then you can print directly from your phone and take the pictures that you take with your phone and then print them out onto Instax film, which is super cool. Also used just my journaling pen, and then, isn't this the cutest little like pencil holder, pen holder? I know, it's so cute. Love that guy. Using just some markers, colored markers that I have that just to kind of highlight some of the words or add in a little bit of color, and also my midliners, which are kind of like highlighters but better, and they come in these awesome colors. So this is what I'm using and what I use to decorate the inside of my album. Okay, so now let's take a look at the inside. So I kind of really wanted to keep everything super easy in this album. I have found, let me move this out of the way. I have found that in my documenting, if I set out to make things too fancy or to, you know, over embellish, or to make things perfect every single time I go to make a project, I never finish the project. So for this album, I wanted to make it really easy, something where I could print out a picture, write down a few words, add a sticker or two, and be done. So I did do that. I did take out some of my pieces from my Storyline collection as well as my stationery collection. Those are all available in Michael's stores. So in here you will see some pieces of washi that came, that are Heidi's, that are available at Michael's still, or Storyline, or stationery, but mostly it's the Instax Tropical Collection. And then just like I said, some added markers and stuff. Okay, so here's the first page. So this, I just documented my son going off to camp. Really easy. The prompt was, and we're off. And here's all the smiles. This is just one of my sons and the girl down the street that were doing slip and slide one day. This was super easy. I just typed using my We Are Memory Keepers typecast machine, just typed exactly what they did, added a date, added the place, our backyard, done. And when I look at this picture, I remember exactly what they were doing, which is awesome. So here I've got when 2 of my kids went off to serve a mission in Indianapolis and a recent trip to Milwaukee. I kind of love this Life is a Wild Ride. I thought that was perfect for our little picture here. And you can see here what I did with the markers. I just took this green marker, which is my absolute favorite, just kind of highlighted around the outside of the letters just to make them stand out a little more. And this is a picture of when my daughter developed this horrible allergic reaction after she ate something. We still don't know what it was. It was so crazy. But the prompt for this was, that was unexpected, and it totally was completely unexpected. So this was perfect. And this page, you know, you ever get those pages where you're like, man, I just don't like that page that much. That's kind of how I feel about this, but it's okay. I wanted to do something a little different and just, I'm not great at I don't really always like just randomly writing things in my handwriting places. And I tried that here and I didn't love it, but it's okay. I hated this arrow that I put on here, so I tried to cover it up with some washi and a little sticker, and it's fine. It's not my favorite, but you know what? It's okay. I still totally remember what we did, and I've got my little journaling done and the picture, so we're good. And here we've just got a picture of a trip we took to the lake. And when I went to go see New Kids on the Block and Boys to Men with a couple of my girlfriends, that was so awesome. Oh my gosh, that was the best concert. And here behind the scenes, just a really quick photo that I took. I was trying to get a picture of my niece and my kids, and my husband and my brother-in-law just would not stop photobombing. My gosh, it was driving me crazy. But I thought that it was great. You know, a good thing, good fun thing to remember. And a first time for everything, my son doing the bungee cords at our local festival. Now here's something that I'm sure that you've seen in my documenting kind of a lot lately, because I really am liking the way that it looks. I've done this on a lot of my storyline layouts where I just draw a bunch of circles and then just color them in. It's just something I really love right now, so I'm kind of adding it everywhere. And this, just a very basic page, one little sticker and some words, and that was it. And here I use my typecast machine on here again. Now this was actually a sticker from the Storyline collection, one of the Deck of Days, that was perfect. And because it's already a sticker, I was able just to type on this and just stick it right down on my page. And this is actually one of my favorite pages just because it is so simple and so clean and so easy, and it took me no time at all. Same with this one, just really easy and just finished quickly. And it's definitely a record of the memory. Here we go. Are we there yet? Just documenting the beginning of one of the road trips we went on. And this too. I always tried to get a little blurb in every photo that I was adding. You know, some are, you know, a little more detailed than others. Some tell more of the story. But this was just a neat photo about how the boys have gone fishing a lot this summer. And I just wanted to add this, and I just filled in that it's a hobby they're really enjoying. Here again, I added the circles. Just documented a trip to IKEA that we took because the kids love to have lunch there. And here's some more places where I added the Storyline collection. Now these are corner like corner pockets. I cannot think of the word. But you know, you'd put this around the corner and then stick your photo in there like a photo corner. Of course, that's what it's called. But I really like to use them as arrows or chevrons. So I often add them into my documenting. I just cut them down into just the little design piece and then add those to my pages. Now here's probably the easiest page at all, but I do like it. Just really simple. Now I have a tendency to say, oh my gosh, I need to put something else in here. But you know what, with this thing, I said, you know what, I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it with all that negative space. And I really kind of like the way that it turns out because it really brings your focus just right to the photograph. And my final page, just a picture of my daughter and her friends swimming in her friend's pool. And that was it. That's it. That's the whole album. And that's kind of our summer in a nutshell. Now, these photos are not in chronologic order. They are just random. They're just documenting events that happened as we went through the summer, but I've included the date on every single page so that we can kind of, I mean, of course, so that we can remember, you know, when things happened. But it's kind of nice just to be able to look at what is the majority of our summer just right in this little book. Now, that's it for this, but I challenge you to pick one of these up, go through your camera roll, and I bet you can find a photograph for every prompt in one of these scavenger hunt albums. There are 2 available. This is one of them, and I'm sure you'd be able to finish, like I said, an entire album just by what's on your phone. And just get the pictures in there. Write down a couple words, get it done. You can finish an album like this in a night. I think that it took me probably 2 nights to finish, maybe 3, just because I was adding a little more embellishments. But if I would have just kept it really simple, written down the date and the time, added my picture and a little story, taken no time at all. Thanks so much for taking a look. If you want to see more detailed pictures in this post, I'll be adding every page so you can see every page close up. And thanks so much for joining me here today. Hope you've enjoyed a look at my album. See you soon.